March is here and the energy is shifting. If you've been feeling like something is brewing beneath the surface, you're not wrong. This month brings a powerful cosmic movement, including the astrological new year. And with it, opportunities to realign, reset, and step into a new chapter with clarity and intention. We're sitting down with our go-to astrologer, Stevie Calista, to break down what March has in store. From key planetary shifts to the energetic themes you'll want to pay attention to. Think of this as your cosmic weather report, so you can move through the month feeling grounded, empowered, and in sync with the universe. Let's dive in. Hi, Stevie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. Every person that I've talked to is like, when is Stevie's March forecast coming out? So here we are.
Here we are.
We always know February is a short month, but it was a short, fiery month.
I know Pisces season's been a little different flavored because of the Aries, Neptune, Saturn energy.
We're going to jump right into March, but let's just say you could feel the shift in
Yeah.
February. We're talking about another shift now into March, but whew,
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing, like March isn't that different than February. We're still in eclipse season through March. We have Mercury retrograde that started in February. We have Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries, starting this brand new 0 point birth point energy. And we're still playing in Aries and Pisces energy, which is the end and the beginning. So it's like tired and wired. I've been saying that, but also like dreams are crazy, but then I like can't really sleep because I have energy, but I don't know where to put it. And I'm like just floating, but also kind of angry. It's a lot, you guys. Like when you play at the very end of the zodiac in Pisces in the very beginning in Aries, you're dancing between, am I in the oneness? Am I in my own body? Like I don't really know where I'm at. Are you feeling that?
very much like you
Yeah.
are hitting it on the head. It's strange. Like I can't sit still, yet I'm tired. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Yes, even from that physical standpoint, that's literally how I feel.
Same.
So let's talk. What do
Yeah.
we have in store for March? And for those who haven't listened to our forecast before, we break it down week by week.
The first thing I want to say is that Saturn and Neptune, which we've been talking about this forever, this is a very big deal, you guys. They came together on February 20th at the exact moment, but they are still very much hanging out together. They came together at the 0 point, 0 degrees of Aries, which is like the spring solstice point. It's the birth point, it's creation point. And that hasn't happened. I mean, you can't find an ephemeris, which is like how astrology nerds look up when things happen. There is none to say when that happened the last time. They say like it's been in Aries together before, but we're talking like over 6 to 8,000 years ago that this happened. So, I mean, it's a big deal.
Wow.
And you'll read some astrology like, oh, the last time this happened was like this 17 whatever. I can't remember the dates, but that it wasn't at the 0 point.
And can you
So,
explain what that means when you start something at the 0 point?
yeah. So if you think about Pisces, because that's the end, it's the 12th sign of the zodiac where we go back to oneness, we go back to source, we become watery beings floating around in the cosmos. Like think about it as like no body, almost all energy. When you come to the 0 point at 0 degrees of Aries, it's when the sun is at its equal zone of light and dark. It's the equinox point. And the 0 degree point of Aries is where we come into birth into a body. We say, I'm here, I'm having a human experience. This is what we're doing now. And this is the I am self. And it's the individual point. But it's also the creation point where anything is possible. It's the creation point of like, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're about to find out because it's coming. And like, I think we're all feeling that.
We are. Yeah. And there is that feeling of every day when you wake up, a real not knowing of how is this day going to play out in my life, collectively, the whole thing, more than it's ever felt.
For sure. And I think that this season and February and March both, most of March until we get to the spring equinox on the 20th of March, is asking us to surrender into the Pisces oneness and trust and rest and be as much as possible while also being in this Aries energy of, okay, but I have energy, I'm creating something. I'm not really sure what it is. It's like a balancing point between trust and surrender and birth, but at the very beginning. There's no plan. We were talking earlier before we started recording, like Aries doesn't have a plan. It's not
No.
Virgo, it's not Capricorn, it's not Taurus. It has no to-do list. It's just ready to move forward and pioneer new territory just for the sake of the excitement of the beginning. Because Aries is a sign of all the signs that wants to move forward all the time. It's the most impatient. It wants to move forward, period. Get on my train or get off. I always say that, like, I'm going forward. I'm leading. I'm pioneering. I'm going to be bold and courageous. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we're doing it.
Well, and especially for people who really operate from a place of needing to plan, I
Yeah,
feel like it ends up being even more challenging.
it is challenging. You just have to throw your hands up and, like, we're on the horse now.
Well, and
So,
that's the whole thing, the fire horse, which we've done a whole episode about because the Lunar New Year is represented by the fire horse this year. That is a really good visual for where we are with
yeah.
Aries right now. And the thing that you have to remember is that, yes, it's going forward with fire. And you also have to remember with that Pisces element where to slow down.
You're still shedding, guys. I don't care what anybody says, at least until the spring equinox. We're still being asked to say, hey, what are those things that run the bus or drive the bus? What are those patterns? What are those beliefs? Are you listening? Are you reflecting? This month is going to ask you to slow down so that you can actually rewire your neural pathways and change. And I've noticed this in my life. Like I've already been having things come up for me and being like, I would normally react like this. Should I react like that? I don't really know if I'm gonna react like that. Like this deep observation where then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go this way. And now this is my reality. And it's so much easier over here. You
Wow.
know? So like, I mean, I just
And
did
just,
a reel last week where I talked about I had all this accounting come out of nowhere and I started to cry, which is very Piscean. And I'm like, I hate that. I became a victim. And I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm choosing all of this. Even if we're not choosing it, we're choosing it, you guys. And so how do I want to move through this? So I just sang thousands and thousands of transaction. I like put on music and I literally sang them. I sound like an idiot. And then I got it done so quickly and I was like, that was kind of fun.
oh my God, you just inspired me because it's a counting season,
Yes,
everybody.
I
And I
know.
have to do that this week. I'm sure many of you
Yes,
listening have to as well. I am
yes.
going to do that because it is not my favorite thing to do either.
Uh-uh. No.
Oh, I
It
love
was
that.
amazing though. Like I was singing them and like not faking myself out enjoying it, but like I was actively choosing it in some sort of way to like change the energy. And by the end, I was like, that took no time. It was
Yeah,
almost like I bent the timeline. I bent time into like this flow state where I was like, oh wow, I'm not drained. I'm not suffering. I'm not a victim. And I just got that done.
thank
Yeah.
you. Yes, I
So
love
that's
that.
gonna that this month that theme is really showing up for us. And then we can literally change our neural pathways. Like I got an email from my account this morning and I was like, oh, whatever. I'll just figure out what there was no emotional reaction whatsoever to like what she was saying. Holy shit.
That's huge. It is, and
Yeah.
it's about facing those types of triggers and fears and things like that. I
Yeah.
think that plays a part of it.
This month specifically is going to really show us how we create our own realities, regardless of if
Yes.
something happened to you that you didn't have control over. At a soul level, your soul's always choosing to bring things towards it so it can learn and grow in the ways in which you signed up for. So when you fully accept that, then you're never a victim for anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And so then
Yes.
how things come, you have the choice in how to deal with how the things are coming at you and you're creating your own reality from like a very sovereign place. So that
Oh,
is what this year is all about. And it's going to feel wild for people that kind of like push up against and really hold on to like that victim story, because that's Pisces shadow, which we've been playing in for many
oh,
years. It's like, I'm a victim and I surrender and like, nothing ever is my fault. And I'm not saying everything is your fault, you guys. I don't want you to take that. I'm talking about zooming way out. We create our own realities. So this year is going to offer this deep sovereignty to be embodied in like how you move about your day. It's your choice.
it's an invitation.
Yeah, exactly. And that can bring up a lot of anger and frustration for people. So that's all good.
Absolutely. And no, that's
Yeah,
normal. And you still can
sure. Change.
make a different choice.
Exactly. Yeah. Sing your transactions, guys.
I'm going to. That is happening. Jeff, my husband, just watch out.
I know. I luckily had the house to myself. My husband and daughter were gone. So I was like, but I would have still done it anyway.
That's amazing. Before we get going week by week, I do want to ask, and maybe you were going to bring this up anyway, but how entering March with Mercury in retrograde impacts all of this as well.
Yes. So that started what, February 28th, I think? Like the
Somewhere around
last,
there.
yeah, the last week of February, Mercury is slowing down. So things are starting to get a little hairy. Mercury in Pisces without the retrograde is emotional, spiritual, intuitive, compassionate, delusional, escapist, a martyr. So, like, this is all sides, romantic, imaginative. So, we're all feeling that, whatever that is. And this is going to show up in your chart wherever this lands in your life. But Mercury retrograde in Pisces is like the space cadet. Because people that have Mercury in Pisces, they don't think logically, they think in terms of energy. So, like, if something made them feel a certain way, they'll remember it forever. And it's sometimes hard for them to articulate logically how they're actually feeling because it's so energetic. And
Wow.
so
Okay.
things are very energetic in our minds right now. If it feels like, why can't I remember? It's like we're all in these like floaty waters. So retrograde even more so that way. This whole month is asking us, can we be more than do? Can we change our minds to be like, oh, rest or whatever that looks like, being, even if it's just for like 10 minutes a day, just
Yeah.
like taking breaks to be versus do. It's very, very productive, you guys, this month. Very productive. Get in the shower, ask the water to rinse you off, bless the water, do things that make you feel like you're connected to oneness as much as possible because it's available. And also, it's going to give us a moment to really listen to our intuition. Because Mercury in Pisces is incredibly intuitive, incredibly creative, spiritual. Listen to music. Let yourself, I keep telling myself, like, how can I make my life more romantic? You know what I mean?
I do.
Like the way I do dishes, I'm gonna light a candle and like turn on really romantic music. And that is so important.
Okay. Thank you. That's helpful. All right. So let's
Yeah.
go.
So yeah, we start the month Mercury retrograde, slow down. This is an opportunity to really observe the stories that you have been running on autopilot and actually flip the script. That's what this invitation is. The first week is the 2nd through the 8th of March. On the 2nd, we have Mars moving into Pisces, so he's going to join the party. Mars is our action, our drive, our physical energy, our masculine side, and mostly just how we take action. And so in Pisces, again, he's like, okay, take action in the spiritual realm, in the creative realm, in the musical realm, in the dancing realm. He's not necessarily super energized there. He's driven for ritual, he's driven for painting or music. So it's just going to add to our physical bodies feeling a little bit like, wow, I'm kind of tired. And also driven for creativity and romanticizing my life even more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And we have 6 weeks of that, so it's a
Oof.
while.
Okay.
On the 3rd, we have our second eclipse, and this is the lunar eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo. So this is the second eclipse of the year and the follow-up from the first one in February. This is a south node eclipse, and what that means is it's a shed. It's a letting go of if there's a place that you're stuck, if there's a place you've been hanging out in that feels comfortable, it's not there anymore. It's like time to move on. I've been telling everybody eclipses aren't times to like plant seeds of intentions and manifest. Like, sure, if you really feel called to do that, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. But eclipse season is a time where the soul's like, hey, you signed up for this. And I know you've been avoiding it. And so here you go. And some eclipses, if they hit personal spots in your chart, they're going to be a lot stronger for you. But everybody feels them. We feel eclipse season. It's just an intensity. It's a veil thinning situation.
Yes. And it's a full moon.
It's a full moon. And the Virgo aspect of this is very much in relation to what we were talking about. This is about where in your life have you shoulded yourself to death or you receive value in being productive? How have you served that's not serving you anymore? And do you need to like reflect, do the Pisces thing, the romanticizing life, the listening and being and meditating in order to really figure out, oh, how I was serving is no longer working for this energy body. And so you might get a lot of clarity this month around like, oh my God, my parents and society. I mean, everything says Virgo, right? We live in a Virgo world where it's like, if you check your to-do list, then you can reward yourself. Or like, do
I
all the time.
do. Yes,
Right. Like
very
we live in
much.
a Virgo world for sure. And so this is going to ask you to be, like stop with the shoulding and the producting. And also this is going to ask you, where are you resentful in
Hmm.
your life of like how you've been showing up or what you need to be doing? Maybe some of that needs to be pivoted. And again, how have you been a victim? And I think that's where the resentment's going to come with Virgo, because Virgo can get very resentful for always having to be the one to perfect and be efficient and get things done and have a plan and problem solve. And so that's the energy that we're working with. Yeah.
So interesting. And again, as you said, eclipses are big energy. So you're
Yeah.
going to feel it amplified.
The third thing I have that week is Venus moves into Aries on the 6th. And so it's interesting that Mars, our masculine, moves into the last sign, and Venus, our feminine, moves into the first sign in the same week. This is going to give you a little bit more of a chance to be like, oh, that's how I feel. Because Venus in Pisces, she's been there for the last few weeks. Most of February is very much like, I feel everything. I feel the collective. I feel oneness. And I don't really know what's mine. And so it can be kind of overwhelming. It's like everybody's empath is like turned up with Venus and Pisces. So when she moves into Aries on the 6th, there's this moment of like, ah, that's how I feel. There I am. These
Oh,
are my desires, my pleasures, my feelings. And so I think that's a nice little balance. And again, we're playing at the end and the beginning there. So,
God.
and she'll meet up with the Saturn Neptune and amplify that creation point energy. So you might be like, oh, I need to start this thing, or I desire this, or you might get really a lot of clarity about like what it is that you're building for yourself. Aries is the self.
That's actually kind of exciting.
The second week, we have Jupiter going direct on the 10th. Whenever planets go direct or retrograde, we feel them immensely. And so we'll feel Jupiter's energy on the 10th. Jupiter's in Cancer and will be until the summer. And Jupiter energy feels expansive, abundant. This is where we like dream really big and we think anything is possible. And sure, sometimes we overdo it with Jupiter, like we get over ambitious or over optimistic, I guess, but I don't care. I always just like lean into that energy because it's beneficial. So Jupiter's going to feel, you might feel very nostalgic that week because it's in Cancer.
Cancer is home,
Yes.
family.
The past, our childhood, our mother, home and family, like those kinds of things. I don't know about you, but I've noticed so many people being like, oh, remember the 90s? Remember the 80s? Remember?
Big time.
Everybody's like romanticizing the past.
And it doesn't matter how old you are. Like even
Yes.
younger people are like,
Yes.
I'm so upset that I didn't grow up in the 90s.
I know. That's so funny. Get
I'm
it.
sad for you too. I get
I get it. I get
it.
it. But yeah, this is just a week where like you might have big feelings or just big goals for yourself. You might be like working around your home and family unit. There might be something coming up there. But Jupiter's energy just in general feels nice. So it's a little boost
Oh,
that week.
we need it.
And then on the 15th, we have Mercury hitting Mars in Pisces. And so Mercury's how we communicate, think, talk, technology. It's retrograde and it's hitting Mars, which is a trigger planet. So whenever anything hits Mars, there's like an alarm that goes off. It's a trigger. And so this is going to be a week where your mind might be all over the place. You might feel overwhelmed mentally. And the best way to deal with this is to move your body. Even if you're tired, this is like that tired and wired on max energy. Because think about the mind spiking with Martian energy, which is like just fire, but it's in water. So I would say this is definitely a week where you want to give your mind breaks and not push it super hard. And again, Mercury's retrograde, you're supposed to be chilling out and reflecting and taking more time to yourself. Do that, but also move. For some people, that might be a journal or like have an outlet for your mind somewhere, somehow.
Okay. March 15th. Mark it down.
I'll be crying that day. I don't know.
I mean,
Am I feeling past lives? Am I feeling the collective? I have no idea, but I have to cry.
big time.
So the third week is the 16th through the 22nd, and this is Equinox week. This is where we have the spring equinox, guys, which is so exciting. On the 18th, we have a new moon at 28 degrees of Pisces. I find that very interesting. Just a couple days before the spring equinox, we have a new moon in the last sign. So again, it's still like a little bleed over from like the last energy because new moons, you guys, they're 28-day cycles, 28 and a half day cycles. So when you plant a seed in a sign, that sign like colors the next 28 days. It just does. The seed is like in that energy. And in Pisces, anything is possible. So like dream really big this week. We just went through eclipse season. Mercury, yes, is still retrograde, but like dream as big as possible. Like romanticize the hell out of your life. Plant really big, beautiful, compassionate seeds. And even if you just set the intention, how can I open my heart more? How can I be more compassionate towards myself and others and help create a different reality for this planet? This is the kind of new moon to plant those seeds with. This one also is conjunct Saturn and Neptune. So this is again the end of the beginning.
Wow.
Beginning. I know, they're so loud.
Oh
So
my
loud.
goodness.
So yeah, we're thinking about how we can move forward and we might be moving forward, but we're also really getting clear about our energetic bodies and like how our hearts and our compassion and our connection to oneness is playing a role in all of that. So it's very intentional, it feels like. It's like the energetic and physical slider. I always talk about that. It's right in the
Mhm.
middle. We're considering both. So anytime we get close to these equinox solstice points, the energy rises. It gets more intense. We have more solar energy,
Oh my
right?
God.
I know we're already in it anyway,
I
right?
mean, it's really crazy. And we're talking about also this new moon, all the things.
And I want to just remind you guys, think about the equinoxes and solstices, like ancient times set up literal sites to honor these days.
I love that you always remind us of this,
I mean, you
honestly.
guys, this is where the sun stands still. Solstices are literally where the sun stands still to the point on Earth where then it starts to shift. This is the point where it's perfectly equal and it's at the 0 degree point in Aries. This is the astrological new year, which happens on the 20th. And this new moon happens 2 days before this.
Okay.
So I just really think about this week as incredibly sacred. I can just feel the energy. I don't even know how to put it into words, but the 0 degree point is like we've been saying, the creation point, and the sun hits that point and says like, and we begin again. Here we go. And it's conjunct two outer planets that are changing our social and individual history at that creation point. So it's a really, really big equinox. Probably the biggest in our lifetime because it's going to be
Wow.
huge, huge, huge rebirth, you guys. And the same day Mercury goes direct.
So it starts moving forward. It's going to,
Yes.
so it's like all that energy and in terms
Yeah.
of communication and wow.
Yeah, it's a really big week.
Do you feel like that we will feel a shift pretty immediately?
I think so. Like me and you were talking before we started recording.
Yes,
I remember feeling Saturn and Neptune move into Aries, like physically, I felt it.
I did too.
Yeah.
And I think circumstantially, I actually had stuff go
Yes,
on in my life.
totally. It's almost like planets that have been hibernating, although they've been doing a lot of energetic work in the background, and the lights turn on. You're like, oh, hi. I feel you in my
Right.
body. So yeah, this week your body is going to massively feel this shift. And you'll also have a little bit of like yourself come more online and some more clarity happening. Mercury's now going to be start moving forward, and there's this Aries portal. It's like, oh, okay, this is the birth point. I'm starting to see how this is going to manifest in my life or will affect me personally. But this entire year, especially from the equinox, you guys have to burn off energy. I'm telling you right now,
You've been
you
saying
are
it. You really have.
you're gonna feel, and I know we're already feeling it, but this is like it's going to be more so as we move into that fire energy, is you gotta burn off chi, fire. So
Mm.
however that works for you. Take a shower, move your body, whatever it is.
What are you going to be doing on the equinox day?
That's a really good. I always take those days off because I find, especially the solstice, those are my favorite days. I think
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be going to the gym,
It feels like you got to plan something like that.
going on a trail walk in the woods. That's a really good way to have nature help you burn it off.
Do some yoga. If you can do it
Some
outside,
yoga.
even better.
Put your headphones on, like just something. I already am feeling it all. It's just essential at this point. So yeah, that week is just really a week where the lights come on, basically.
It's so funny you just said that because the other thing that I was going to say is that the days are going to become
Yes.
longer too, because in the US, we'll have already turned the clocks forward for spring in those states that do that, which is the majority in our country. And I know globally, I was just having this conversation. I know in different countries, they're shifting their time at that point too. So you're going
Yeah.
to most likely have some more light in your day, no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. And then
And
bring
so when
up
you
what's
said turn
on.
the lights on, it'll be more noticeable by then. It happens prior to this.
The equinoxes, whether they're fall, spring for you, either of them, even for us, fall or spring, it's a balance point. Nature is saying light is equal to darkness. So we're at that 0 point, the scales, right? And so this is also going to ask where in your life do you need more balance? Do you need to focus
Mm,
on yourself more? Are you overgiving in your relationships? It's about balance and
yes.
rebirth at the same time. So yeah, that week, March 23rd, basically through the end of the month, through the last week and a couple of days. On the 25th, we have the sun hit Saturn. You're going to be feeling this at the new moon, at the equinox. This isn't like all of a sudden you're going to feel this. You'll feel it the week before as well. But when the sun hits Saturn, that is sovereignty. That's saying, like, where do you need to take responsibility for your life? What structures do you need to be building for yourself? And also, what hard things do you need to be doing? Saturn is like, get real, you guys. What are you doing?
I mean, Saturn is the teacher.
He is. He's karma. He's time. He's Lord of all of those things. But he's the one really that, which is just us. Saturn is the contracts we decided to have and the lessons we decided to learn. And so he just shows us. The light comes on and says, like, hey,
Hmm.
remember you're supposed to be taking responsibility for yourself here. Do you need to like do something different? So that's another, the light comes on in the Saturnian way. Yeah,
Well, and interesting that it's all part of the astrological new year to have that happen right then too, so that you can have an intention in terms
right.
of whatever that is for you.
Definitely. And the sun always brings clarity. If it feels like the beginning of the month and probably February didn't feel super clear, that you can feel it, but you're not exactly sure. It feels like this after the equinox, things are going to start really moving.
And Mercury is no
Nice.
longer in
Yep,
retrograde. Yeah.
exactly. That's like really go time. But again, I just want to remind you, we still have Pisces planets. We're still playing at the end, even though we're in the beginning. It's just going to feel more beginning than end at that point. So right now we're like two fingers in the beginning and like eight in the end. This way we'll start to be like half and half. So just want to say that, remind you that we're still shedding. The
Hmm.
last week of March, which is the 23rd through the 30th, we have on the 26th, Venus is conjunct Chiron. And that just is a trigger. That's like I feel wounds, I feel healing, I feel pain, and it's an
Wow.
Aries. This could also be like Chiron is both healing
That's
and
true.
wound. So
True.
sometimes this can be like, oh my God, I'm
I
healing.
am healing and wow, I'm seen or yeah, whatever that is
Yes,
for
not
you. Yeah.
abandoning myself. Look at how this
Yeah.
could have triggered me in the past and it's not triggering me now. Look how this is triggering me. So both can be true.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to keep in mind no matter where you are in your life.
Yeah, Chiron is the place in our chart that we are most wounded and abandoned, and we essentially abandon ourselves because something has happened to us that has taught us we needed to. Yet it's also the planet that you have a massive gift, like
Mm.
massive gift, you guys, because it's the place in which you've been called to heal and then help others heal, if you so
Yes.
choose. So when Venus, our feelings and desires, hits that planet, again, it's like I feel triggered or I feel healed or whatever. And we've all been doing Aries Chiron, which is I don't know if I can be myself. I'm an imposter. I'm gonna just abandon myself because I don't belong. So we've all been doing that work for many years now.
So this is a big shift.
That's just a little blip. It's just a couple of days where you might feel a certain kind of way. So you might really want to move your body that day too, the 26th, because you could have big feels that need to move. On the 30th, the last thing that I have is that Venus moves into Taurus. And Venus is home in Taurus. She's ruled by Taurus. She's home in Taurus and Libra. But Venus in Taurus is incredibly sensual.
Hmm.
This is like indulge in the chocolate and make sure that your smells are good. And do you have pretty things? And is your money in order? And Venus in Taurus of anything is just wants beauty. Like I'm in the material world. It wants to smell it, touch it, taste it, everything. I always think of Venus and Taurus, the lime green season when like the buds start lime green color, when they
Yeah.
just first pop and you're just like, oh, could anything be more beautiful?
Yes.
That's what it feels like to me. It's a really good for the next 3 weeks when we move into April. It's just a really good 3 weeks to really indulge in the material world and think about how things can be more romantic and more sensual in your life. And that could be anything.
I love that. Well, it's a good way to
And the
And the
month.
month, although I feel like April's going to be a doozy. Like you mentioned that in our yearly forecast,
Yeah.
and it's just on my mind.
Yeah. I
It's
have a
like,
feeling we'll get to the end of the year and we'll be like, remember when we thought February was a doozy? It wasn't really a doozy.
I think you are onto something there.
Yeah. Remember that? We survived.
Well, it's just so interesting doing this with you for so many years and being able to remember how I felt personally throughout the years. I can now look back at certain years and be like, oh, I remember my body felt like that for most of the year. And so, how different this year feels versus last year at the same time. So, you can tell, like, and it really does have to do with everything we're talking about energetically. And we, as energetic beings, absorbing that energy. And so to have this as a guide, like I know I'm going to listen to this several times because it's very helpful. The reminders of when to expect certain things really does help you navigate your month, your year, all the things, and validate why you may be feeling a certain way. And you may forget for a minute and then you listen to it again. You're like, oh, right, March 15th was that. Okay.
Totally. Makes sense. Check, check.
It does. So thank you for helping all of us.
Of course. And I just want to remind everybody too, like our physical DNA is changing and we're becoming more in our light bodies than our physical dense bodies. And so just keep that in consideration because our physical realities are changing and
Mhm.
becoming lighter. And I've been noticing I've been craving different foods and I don't really want to eat that thing anymore. And I always have to eat breakfast and now I don't want to eat breakfast. So just really pay attention to how your physical body is talking to you because
Mm.
it's changing and it's just so gradual. But if you think about it, like think back to like 2019, like I feel physically different. Do you?
Big time.
It's just interesting. Like
Yeah, I do. That's huge. Well, again, thank you, Stevie. This is so helpful. And I know that we will all be thinking of you throughout the month because you've given us this guidance and can't wait to talk again for April.
Me too. Thanks for having me, Robin.
Thank you.